Hi, welcome back to Sit Down Sunday. My name is Andrew. How are you doing? How was your week? Did you accept the challenge from last week? If you did, please let me know. I'm always looking to incorporate unselfish acts so we can continue to make the world a better place. This week, whole new energy, whole new ball game. There's a lot that's happening. And I want to talk about maybe tackling some insecurities or talking about how I approach beating one that has affected me for a very long time. I have ongoing troubles with overthinking and body dysmorphia. What is body dysmorphia? I literally have the definition right in front of me so that you can just hear it. It is a mental health disorder in which you can't stop thinking about one or more perceived defects or flaws in your appearance. A flaw that appears minor or can't be seen by others. You may feel so embarrassed, ashamed, and anxious that you may avoid many social situations. Definition from mayoclinic.org. What does all that mean? For me, it just means I see things on my body that aren't actually there. Like, I can look at the mirror and can turn to the side and think I see a gut that's like large and in charge. Versus what others see is pretty something minor. Or for me, growing up, all of my friends would be able to show, within a short amount of time that what they were lifting and eating affected their body type. For me, that never happened. I was basically a pencil with some abs. And it really drove me crazy because I would work so hard. I played many different sports. I was considered a jock. That's a joke. Nothing ever changed besides my abs getting better. And I'd get so angry and so frustrated, and instead of me realizing that body types are different, they're going to react or change however they're supposed to for each individual person, I just thought something was wrong with mine. I really hated my body. With overthinking, it made it worse. It made it become into fruition. To this day, still don't really like being naked. I don't really like being shirtless or reveal skin. And if I look at the mirror, I still, to some degree, see things that aren't actually there. It's gotten better within the last year or so, but it still is a very ongoing battle. And so I challenged myself to find the why. Where did this start? Why are we here? What happened? And I realized back in middle school and high school, obviously, when I was trying to blend in, which I'll talk about in a second, that's when the idea of my body needing to be perfect came in. I grew up in a pretty conservative, pretty Republican place that doesn't like gay people, at least at the time. I'm gay and have probably known for a lot longer than I thought I knew, but never really looked into it and didn't come out till I graduated. During that course of time, I knew I was different. There was something about me that just did not blend in with this crowd. So I tried my best to be the perfect blend-in. I thought by having the body, by hanging with the jocks, by just pretty much covering every kind of thing that I like, I'll fit in, I'll make it, we'll be great. And that's when it all happened. I tried working out to put on muscle mass because that's what the jocks were doing. Wasn't working. I tried to, wear very dull, very boring, cover every inch of my skin clothing, and did not really engage in anything that I actually cared about. It really took a toll because here we are years later, and I still suffer from some of those insecurities and very much a victim of my overthinking. Not a victim. I like overthinking. I think it leads to sometimes becoming a better person, but it also kind of starts some problems. So with that said, I am kind of in this bubble of just being uncomfortable in my own skin. And I know there have been times in my past where I'm not, where I have done a photo shoot with a little less amount of clothing. I am, or was, is, I don't know, a professional dancer that would do shows with like see-through patterns or nothing at all, and have done a whole bunch of stuff without clothing. To the common eye, it would not look like if I have this problem. But in all these things, I felt very insecure and not assured, and I needed someone else's validation to make me feel like I was okay. Which sometimes external validation is really great, it's really helpful. But I got tired of depending on someone having to validate the way that I looked. It honestly wasn't until this year when I really was able to feel better about it, in the sense of everything shut down and I was no longer working out honestly 7 days a week. I was no longer trying to compare body type to body type because that's my profession, and no longer needed to wear this like confidence that I don't have everywhere. This time I dove in, right? I found my why. It started in middle school, trying to blend in, trying to not get noticed, and continued to maneuver into different and new things as I got older. And now there's this pattern that I notice where I'm working out, I'm eating, and I'm doing everything right, I feel great. But as soon as I stop, oh my God, it's all over. I did it all for nothing. And that's not healthy. That is not a healthy cycle. You should not be working out, eating better, and doing these things for the sake of external validation. If you're doing it for yourself, that's a whole different story, and I'm very proud you're on that path. But I thought I was on that path until I realized I wasn't. So now, with the gyms being gone, with my work pretty much being canceled, and with me trying to figure out where this all stemmed from, I realized I needed to look at myself in the mirror. I needed to let these demons talk, right? If we continue to bury them, if we continue to say they're nothing, realize, that they're the worst thing we could say about ourselves, the more we are afraid of them, the more we don't, interact with them, the more we don't challenge them. We just make that who we are. So I stare at the mirror and would look at myself and would cry. I dare you to stand in front of a mirror with no clothing for 1 minute. Just you, yourself, in that moment. It was the hardest thing I did. Because for the first 15 seconds, I'm just ripping myself apart. Oh, well, your abs aren't showing, your arm muscle's down, you haven't been working out, we can tell. All of these thoughts, right? In the first 15 seconds, there's still another 45 seconds left. And then I just heard nothing. They stopped talking. I stopped criticizing. And I started just loving. Well, first I fell in love with my butt because it's pretty nice. And then I started loving, it's gonna sound weird, but my shoulders, because they're not too wide, they're not too narrow, they actually fit my frame pretty well. I love my eyes, even though they're brown and very basic. And I just kept hearing myself say, well, I love my heart, I love, my chest, I love whatever. And those demons started to get quieter. And it was because I stopped being afraid of them. I kept thinking, if I have these thoughts, I'm awful and I'm gonna spiral and it's going to be a whole freaking mess. Versus if I just let them say their piece, let them think they have the power over me, and then prove to myself that they don't, that's when I made the change. That's when I felt more comfortable. And that's when I started challenging myself to continue to make myself uncomfortable. Again, I don't like showing skin. I don't like pretty much anything in regards of flaunting your muscles, abs, or stuff like that. But I want to get comfortable in my body. And one thing that I know I like seeing is when a man wears a crop top, because I love to battle the masculine and feminine energy that is in the world. And so when I see someone confident that is a male wearing a crop top, anything, it inspires me because I want to be there. I want to be that comfortable where I can wear a crop top and not care who's affected by it. So about a crop top. I've had a couple that I've worn before that I stopped wearing because I didn't like how I looked in them. Still have them, have not yet put them back on, and I probably will soon because we're feeling pretty good. But I bought a crop top. It is right here. Hello. Stomach. And I want to challenge you to go find your crop top and put it on. Just see what it looks like on. This is the simplest thing to challenge, or at least accept. Thank you for tuning in this week, and I believe next week I will be back, but in 2 weeks I'll be traveling, so it might be a little bit tough. But thank you guys so much, and I hope you can go out there and tackle one of your insecurities and help make you more comfortable with who you are. Much love, fam.